This is Ian with Build Brothers at 4805 Cape May in San Diego. Gonna go ahead and do a quick inspection here. We've got a tar and gravel roof. Common misconception is that this tar and gravel roof lasts forever. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever. Definitely not in the roofing business. Looks like we've got some tie downs for something here. I didn't see those until I started the video, but definitely a potential leak hazard, considering it looks like that goes through the roofing material and down to the structural. Usually we see those wires supporting antennas and satellite dishes and things like that. But I would guess that this roof is 25 plus years old and at the end, definitely at the end of its life expectancy. Some of the things that cause this roof to, well, die prematurely are if there's a tree next to it and that tree blows and uncovers the layers. And here we can see that the felt layers have been exposed because the rock has been moved, and you can actually see the fiberglass in those felt layers. And so that corner is definitely worn out and gone. The other first place we see failure on this style of roof is when the plies peel away from this drip edge right here. This is what we call a gravel stop drip edge, and so this little high point is made to keep the gravel on the roof, but unfortunately what it does is it keeps a little bit of water on the roof also, and it ends up getting between the little gaps that are created in the material and the drip edge. We see several repair attempts throughout this roof, and so it looks, of course, it's along the edge. I'm guessing there was a leak on the edge here. So you sweep as much and scrape as much of the gravel away, and then you put a torch down patch like this, and then it looks like that didn't work, and so some roof coating was applied to this area as well as the parapet over there. So obvious this roof is beyond its life expectancy and needs to be replaced. Me and Clint had briefly discussed roof coatings, and the neighbor put a coating on this building, and you can see if I zoom in just how well it's doing. So we don't like doing band-aids because that's what happens. They just don't work and turn out to be a waste of money. But here's another repair attempt here at this. We definitely did discuss the concern about tenants losing internet during this project. It would not be a problem for us if the electrician and or internet technician were to run a large conduit over here with new internet from the wall up onto the roof and over to that opening over there. And I would actually just prefer that be done before any roofing work happens. We work underneath conduit all the time. This roof is pretty clean, pretty wide open. And so as long as that conduit is run at least 6 inches above the roof deck, we can work underneath it, no problem. Now, Title 24 Energy Code 2022 went into effect in 23, and it says that that on flat roofs, commercial roofs, multifamily roofs like this, low slope, that 2-inch or 2.5-inch high density foam insulation is required. There are some ways around it, but most inspectors will want that insulation. Now, what are the exemptions? If we can prove that the insulation that's already in these attic spaces or ceiling spaces is enough to meet those requirements. But does make for a really nice roof, and it does make for a better insulated building. We've got scupper drains here, and then we've got a couple deck drains throughout. The scuppers go through the parapet wall and then go through the mansard and tie into those gutter downspouts. That is kind of a unique drainage system, but we will leave that intact. The the scuppers will be replaced. We see some fairly unique sewer vents coming up the walls, and then this is how they've dealt with it. Those ones are pretty vulnerable. That's going to take some extra care and attention to make sure that it never has any issues. As far as the leak that happened in the kitchen, it's a mess because of all of the coatings that have been applied, and so tough for me to see or say exactly where that leak is coming from. The proposed solution is going to be definitely a full tear off. We'll discuss the idea or the line item option for the polyiso high density foam insulation that is required by basically it is required by energy code, but most jurisdictions are just not enforcing the requirement. Here's those kind of little dome things that allow for the internet to enter each of the units. It would be great to be able to delete those when this roof gets replaced. There's one of those deck drains I was talking about. Very common to see, there is a little break in the material right there. Very common to see leaks around those deck drains. And we can also see that there's a break in the sealant around every one of these plumbing vents. But all in all, it's obvious it's beyond its life expectancy and ready to be replaced.